That's right, baby. You are the one, and that's why you're here. I'm Julio, and welcome to the show. Let's go, baby. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Today, we're talking all about layoffs. If you're here, you might be struggling after a layoff, or maybe you're a leader, manager, or founder having to let someone go. Or maybe you're just feeling that deep anxiety that so many of us are feeling right now. Okay, go see the headlines. Another round of layoffs, another email, another all hands. We all know what that's like. Let me start by saying, I see you. Really, I see you. Because it hurts, and this is a special kind of hurt, isn't it? The truth is, layoffs are a trauma. It's a work trauma. This shit is real, y'all. I know. I'm living proof. It's happened 4 times in a row. And it can shake your sense of identity, of security, even your self-worth. We're our own worst enemy, and we do this all the time. We beat ourselves up. So in this show, I want to offer you something you may not be getting anywhere else. Some comfort and real talk from someone who's lived on both sides of that table. I've been hired and fired and been the one firing. Okay, so maybe you feel right now displaced, rejected, or just lost. I need you to know that you are not alone, you're not broken, and baby, you do not have to figure this all out alone, okay? That's why we are here. That's why we are doing this show. That is the mission we are on, to make you feel less alone as we navigate these times as a leader to grow and to step into our power, okay? Here is some perspective, because sometimes the data helps us feel a little bit less crazy, okay? So first of all, since 2020, US tech companies have cut over 1 million jobs. Microsoft, just last month, okay, let go of another 9,000 employees. That's nearly the entire population of Sedona, Arizona in 1 week. More than half of laid off tech employees report symptoms of anxiety or depression after their exit. Most of those techies are burnt out. They're struggling. They have managers that they don't even like. And according to LinkedIn, the average job search after a tech layoff is now 6 months. The longest it's been since 2008. I get messages all the time. People are searching in silence. They're also suffering in silence. And get this, 1 in 3 people who lose their job, they never talk about it, not even to close friends or partners. And that happened to me. So let's begin very quickly. I want to bring you inside my world for a second, because this isn't just theoretical for me. I have lived this multiple times. And honestly, there's not many people you're going to talk to who have lived this and have been able to come out on the other side and articulate it in such a way that you may benefit from it. So I got into all the big names, okay? Apple, Google, Tumblr, Airbnb, and Lyft. I did the whole LinkedIn success story thing. But here's what you didn't see on social during that time. It was that I also managed to get fired from 4 of them, the first 4 of them, okay? That was real. So let's break it down real quick, story by story, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about and that all the things that I'm saying come from lived experience, y'all. So first, Apple. Here I was, fresh out of college, okay? I thought I was the shit, loud, brash, a truth teller. But the reality was I did feel entitled. I did feel green. And I didn't quite understand the humility and the patience that real leadership takes, okay? So I got shown the door. Then Google. That shit was a rocket ship. A great run for over 4 years. I was really crushing it. But at the last 6 months, I couldn't stand my manager, okay? Everything she did grated on me. My entitlement and my impatience got triggered again. I didn't have the skills and the maturity to navigate toxicity or my own reactions. That too ended after losing my patience too many times. By this point, I've had 2 firings that were silent and quiet, and I never told anybody about. I kept it a total secret. So by then, I was just numb. I wasn't present, and I wasn't well at all. I was playing pretend, trying to make it all seem in good fun, like I knew what I was doing. Just trying to get another job to make money to keep the wheels turning. That didn't end well. Then Airbnb. And it was good until it wasn't. I moved from New York to San Francisco. There were tensions at the top. I got angry and my values drifted from my mission. What do you know? Another ending. That was my rock bottom moment, y'all. And I go into that in depth in Braving Big Tech. You should check that out. After that, I went to Lyft and I finally got the whisper. At some point after leading autonomous vehicle marketing, I was being called to something new, but leaving was so scary. I didn't want to do that. So of all these experiences, what was the common thread? Every time I thought it was just the company. I thought it was their fault or just me, my fault. But the truth is, it's always a little bit of both. Let's get real about this. Layoffs and firings are never just one person's fault. The truth is, externally, things happen. Market crashes, M&As, leadership shakeups, the numbers, company culture, managers who haven't done their own work. Sometimes you are just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Internally, we have to own our own part, okay? So you got to take some time to ask yourself, how did I show up? Where was I checked out, numbing, angry, or out of alignment with myself? The truth is you can't move through it until you take responsibility for your part. Let's begin. You've been laid off, you've been let go, something struck you, you've been displaced, there's some rejection, okay? Let's first honor the loss. This is a disappointment. It's a rupture that's real. And if you're a high performer, you're probably used to having your shit together, to looking perfect and showing up for everybody. You know what it's like being dialed in. But when that's pulled out from under you, the identity crisis becomes real, because what then? Who are you when you've been stripped of your title and your job? But let me tell you, whether it's a layoff, a firing, or a let go, the pain is real. And you don't have to like it, but you do have to accept it. Accepting what is. An acceptance is not approval, let's be very clear. It's simply naming what is so that you can move forward. So how do we do that? First, we invite all the emotion. Feel all the feels. Grief, sadness, loss, anger, frustration, disappointment. So feel all the feels and then take the wheel. Next, you have to think about what is your game plan, okay? So what's your realistic runway? How much money do you need? Where do you need to live? What changes do you have to make? What can you cut or postpone? What shifts need to happen? The other thing, do not do this alone. Call a friend, a partner, a mentor, a coach. Share where you're at. Sometimes it's just naming it that is part of the relief process. I didn't do that and I made a lot of mistakes. And so I highly recommend you find someone, a trusted friend. Message me. We can talk through it. Here's a big lesson. Every ending is a teacher. Every layoff, every firing, every big no in your life is actually here to teach you something if you see that and you can believe that. Okay? You choose to take that route. At Apple, I needed humility. At Google, I needed patience and communication tools. At Tumblr, I needed presence and healing. At Airbnb, I needed to realign with my core values. At Lyft, I needed courage to follow my real calling. So ask yourself, what is this moment here to teach me? What is this moment here to teach me? That is the question to ask yourself and to explore in this time. Okay, next, we have a few principles for this journey that you're going to be on. And by the way, it is a journey and it takes time. But there are a few things I learned the hard way that I want to name. The first is radical self-compassion. If you wouldn't say it to a friend, then don't say it to yourself. The truth is there's actually another way to talk to yourself. You don't have to talk to yourself the way most of us do. We're critical, we're cynical, we beat each other up, we're nasty, it's harsh. You don't have to talk to yourself that way. Change the self-talk. This sucks right now, but it's not forever. I haven't figured this out, not yet. Next, listen to the whispers of your life. Really, your life is speaking to you. The universe always whispers before it screams. So what do you know deep down that you haven't admitted yet? That's worth exploring. Next, don't let yourself get stuck in pathology. You don't have to drown in the shame. You don't have to hide behind the story of the pathology. Take responsibility for your part, and that allows you to move forward. Now, I want to share with you a quick tool that's repeatable that you can use over and over. Okay? This is my tool for unblocking yourself, whether you're looking for a job, recovering from a layoff, or just feeling stuck. It's very simple. It's 3 pieces, and it's called Big Brave Heart. How cheeky is that? Big Brave Heart, okay? So the first step is big. You are big, so what's making you feel small? Allow yourself to feel. Close your eyes. 1 slow breath in. And out. Invite the feeling forward and name what you feel. Say it out loud or write it. Maybe it's anger or sadness, hope, relief. Whatever is true for you, name it. Step 2, brave. Once you've felt all of those feelings, allow it to move through you, and then that moves you to the next point, which is, what is the next brave right move? What do you need? Take 1 act of courage. You need to send an email. You need to ask for help. Maybe you need rest. What is the next step for me in this process? What's going to get me 1 step closer to that big vision that I have? And then the third piece is heart. Making sure to give yourself self-love and compassion throughout the journey, because this is a roller coaster. There will be good moments and bad moments, sometimes within the same day, sometimes within the same hour. Put your hand over your heart. You know, my mom loves to do this, and I always used to feel so weird about it. But the truth is how often do we ever just put our hand over our heart and hold that space and just feel the heat and the warmth? And the tenderness of it and the beauty of it and the strength of it and the softness of it and the resilience of it. We never spend enough time with our hearts. So, you know, your life is shifting. You are being invited to do something differently, to grab the lesson that this situation is here in your life right now to remind you of, and to do something with it. As you go through the week and you're trying to navigate coming through this time, I want you to think about Big Brave Heart. It's big because you are not small. So take a minute, take a breath, and recognize just how big you are. Feel all the feelings that are uniquely human. You are brave, so what's making you feel scared? Let's figure out the next right move. You are heart-led. We're human beings, not human doings. You are heart-led. So get out of your head and figure out what is it that your heart is actually telling you to do. Try this for 7 days. DM me the story that you have. Share it with someone. And if you want, tag me or use hashtag BigBraveHeart. So now let's talk about this from the perspective for leaders and managers. Okay, if you're the one doing the layoff, you need to listen to this. My message to leaders is very simple. Delivering a layoff or a firing is never just a business transaction. Hello, it is a human event. We're talking about human beings here. So that means take the time to prepare your message, prepare your heart, your body, your nervous system for going into this discussion. You don't have to sugarcoat, but also you don't have to dehumanize. Can you be respectful? Saying something like, this isn't about your worth, it's about where the company is going and what's changed. Or I want to have a hard conversation, this is no longer working out and I want to talk it through. Can you hold space for emotion? Can you not rush it? Don't vanish after the news. Don't read from a script. See if you can be in the moment and be present with it and be real. Can you also stay available and offer resources? How you treat people on the way out is your real legacy. Trust me. That's what's going to matter most. That's what people care about. Also, if you have been laid off as a manager and you have never processed it, I'm telling you that shit is probably still living in your body and your work, okay? It will show up as burnout, perfectionism, overfunctioning. So see if you can get curious about what's underneath. That is work for you to do. If you're listening to this and you're suffering in silence, you are not alone, and there's nothing broken about you. Really. If you're a leader or a manager, share this with your team. If you've been laid off, share it with a friend or a manager who needs to hear this message, who needs to see the humanity in this act that is a separation, a displacement, a letting go, a firing, a rejection. We have to figure out how to do this well, and we can. So drop us a comment. What's one thing you wish your company or your manager had done differently? And what helped you the most in this process for you? Let's crowdsource some wisdom for the next person walking through this fire. I will share it online. Layoffs are not easy. Getting fired is not easy. Being rejected is not easy. Any kind of displacement is shattering, but it's one chapter in a bigger story. And if you are the author of your life, then you get to write the story. You get to own the narrative, and you get to take the lesson and learn so that you can do better and be better, as Maya Angelou likes to say, okay? You can do this and you will do this. This happens to a lot of people, and we don't like talking about it because it's ridden with shame. But the truth is, this story lives in you and stays stuck until you're willing to process it and move through it. So if you're just rushing to the next thing, the next resume, the next LinkedIn online application, and you're just trying to close a job for security, there is a chance that you're risking the deeper work here that is to be done that will unlock and align you with what you really need to be doing while you're here on this earth, okay? So hit me up, shoot me a note if you have thoughts, if you have feedback, if you have a story you want to share on the podcast about your experience. We want to know about it because you are not alone. We're building a braver, kinder world, one open-hearted leader at a time. I want to thank you all for being here. I'm so grateful. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Love you all. Bye. Let's go. All right, y'all, that's it for today's episode. Now listen, if you were moved by something today, then good. It means it's working. That's progress. Shoot me a note and tell me. I want to hear about it. You can DM me online. hello@letsgowithjulio.com is my email. You can visit me at letsgowithjulio.com. I see you, and I know you're trying, and we're going to make change, all of us, one brave leader at a time. The Let's Go with Julio show is produced and edited by Rikki Gunton, and our theme song is You Are the One by Nick Deutsch. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with a friend or two who could benefit. You know who they are, baby. I see you. I love you. Let's go, baby.